All right, let's dive right into a really fascinating, kind of mind-bending idea. The concept is this. What if consciousness isn't just on or off? What if it's more like a spectrum with different levels of power and, well, ability? So let's kick things off with a question that I know sounds a little out there. Is a rock conscious? Now, I get it. Your first instinct is probably, no way, of course not. But what if the answer isn't a simple yes or no? What if we've been thinking about it all wrong? Maybe consciousness is less like a light switch, on or off, and more like a volume dial that can be turned up or down. And that right there is the core idea we're going to unpack. The theory suggests that, yeah, everything has some level of consciousness, just with vastly different capabilities. So a pebble, a tree, a human, in this model, we're all on the same spectrum, just at totally different points on that dial. So let's actually break down what these levels mean. And we're going to start at the very, very beginning. Okay, so to really get a handle on this whole hierarchy, the model says we have to start at the absolute bottom. Our baseline for consciousness, our level 1, is something you see every single day but probably never think about like this, a simple pebble. So what does it even mean for a pebble to be conscious? Well, the model uses this awesome gaming analogy. Think of a pebble as like a really low-level node in the giant simulation we call reality. It has what's called a passive consciousness. It exists, it holds its shape. You could say it's a stable data point in the universe's code. But that's pretty much it. It can't really do anything. It has basically zero ability to affect the world around it. It just is. All right, so from the pebble, we're about to take the first huge leap up the ladder of consciousness. And this is where things get really interesting. We're moving from that passive state of just being to an active state of doing. And believe me, that shift changes absolutely everything. Which brings us to what's called tree consciousness. See, this is an active biological consciousness. A tree is not just a static data point like our pebble. Oh no, it's running a way more advanced operating system, right? It's processing energy, photosynthesis, it's responding to things like sunlight and water, and it even actively renders or influences its own little corner of the world, by providing shade, shelter, and oxygen. When you put them side by side like this, the jump becomes super clear, right? The pebble is passive. It's just a data point. But the tree is active, it's responsive, and it actually shapes its environment. In this way of thinking, it's a massive level up in the ability to interact with the world. We've gone from a simple object to a living organism. Okay, but what about us? Where do humans fit into all this? Well, this is where the model takes its biggest, most significant leap yet. It introduces a level of consciousness that doesn't just interact with the world, it fundamentally rewrites it. This is human consciousness, and it's described as creative. In this system, we're the high-level nodes. Think about it. We don't just respond to our environment like a tree growing toward the sun. No, we actively manipulate and even recode it. The difference is just huge. A tree renders its place within the forest. A human can take that entire forest and turn it into a neighborhood of houses. Let's go back to that gaming lens because it really nails it. A tree is basically playing the game of reality as it was written. It renders the world, it responds to the existing code, and that's that. But a human? Oh, this model says we can actually recode the game itself. We can manipulate the fundamental building blocks of reality to create things that are brand new. It's literally the difference between being just a character in the game and being one of the developers. And that brings us to what might be the most personal part of this whole idea. Because even within our own human consciousness, the theory suggests there's another spectrum. It's like a game within the game. And the most powerful part, this framework says we actually get to choose how we play it. So, which one are you? On one side, you've got the autopilot player. This is when you're pretty much just reacting to life's physics. Things are happening to you. You're almost unconscious. Then on the other side, you've got the development mode user. This is someone who is highly conscious, who's aware of the mechanics of how their reality works. They're actively trying to influence probability, what gamers call RNG or random number generation. They're not just accepting luck as it comes, they're trying to make their own luck. They make things happen. Okay, I know this might all be sounding pretty philosophical, right? But the source material actually connects this whole framework to some really fascinating scientific theories, ideas that could be the engine, so to speak, powering these different levels. Let's think about it like computer hardware and software. The hardware could be something related to a theory called Orch-OR.
In a nutshell, it suggests that consciousness might actually come from quantum vibrations happening deep inside our cells, in these things called microtubicles. The more complex the biology, the more powerful the hardware, which could explain the huge jump from a pebble to a person. And the software, well, that's our focus, our intention. See, some interpretations of quantum physics suggest that a conscious observer can literally influence the outcome of reality just by focusing on it. So in this model, a highly conscious person is just running better, more focused software on their advanced hardware.
So we kind of end up back where we started, but hopefully with a totally new way of looking at things. This whole model suggests that consciousness isn't just something you have, it's something you do. It's almost like a skill that you can get better at. And the so what of all this, the really big takeaway, is that this framework puts the choice in your hands. So the final question it leaves us with is a really powerful one. If you can actually choose your level of interaction with reality, are you going to be a player on autopilot, or are you ready to start writing the code?